bitches.
Now, big news coming out of Road FC. The CEO, your boy, the Korean Batman. He has
The
stepped
Korean
down.
white Bentley.
The Korean Batman,
Yeah.
right? He stepped down. Everybody thinks Road FC is over with. That's the rumors right now. What you think?
Nah. That's long Korean money. I think everything's gonna be fine because I saw what's his name, Mr. Jung.
Yeah.
I saw the white Bentley parked in the hotel parking lot. Everything's, I think, okay. Nah, man, I think Road has a really good promotion. I mean, they got obviously the $1 million tournament going on, and unless that's just some type of smoke and mirrors and facade, then I don't know what to say. But I think, man, they got really good fighters. They pay the fighters good, at least the foreign fighters that I know, like, you know, for the most part, they're happy. And so I don't think that I don't know who said that they're over, but like just because the CEO steps down, like he's still an owner, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they need something, you know, a little bit better, like somebody, you know, a better face of the company or whatnot to be, you know, maybe speak English or different reasons. I'm sure they have their reasons for him stepping down, but like, I think they're a good promotion, man. I don't think they've been around for a while now, you know, like they got a TV deal. They, you know, they go to China. They've got good sponsors from what it looks like. And they obviously have good fighters. So I don't think, for me, it's just like a change of face, but I don't think that there's any issues or anything wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong either. I think that he's basically got tired of his job and, you know, dealing with people, and it's probably very stressful, and he doesn't have to do it. And you got money.
Right.
Why keep doing something that's because, you know, running a promotion is not an easy job.
No, because you deal with how many different people and different personalities and different this and different that and problems and but yeah, you know, he's got money. Like if he doesn't want to do it, why should he have to do it? So
For sure. Speaking of Road FC, hey, what happened with, you know, weren't you supposed to be at Road FC, the last one in China?
yeah, I went to China. I was there. But I wasn't there for the fight. Flew there to Beijing, drove 5 hours, went to the hotel, awesome hotel. Took a nice hot bath in the hotel room, which, you know, we don't really have a lot of bathtubs in Thailand, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. And found out Jake didn't get a visa, and I came back less than 24 hours after being there. Woke up the next morning and they had a flight for me. I was very happy about that, so I came back. So yeah, I was in and out.
So, like, you know, you were telling me earlier that, like, you landed in China. Tell us your trip, because the 24-hour span that you were in China for.
All right,
Tell us
so
what happened.
I flew out of Thailand. I think I flew out of Thailand at 12 o'clock or 12:15. I want to say somewhere around there.
Afternoon?
No, at night, in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the airport. I left my house at about 9 o'clock, got to the airport around 10 o'clock. I went to old Bill Bentley's bar, had a couple beers, had some food. It's usually what I do at the airport. Picked up a nice book, The Queens of Pattaya, which was just different stories about bar girls. It was a good book. Didn't really read it on the way there. Got there to Beijing, left Thailand, got to Beijing like 6:40 in the morning. Took a 5-hour van ride to Shenzhen. Shenzhen? Yes. Shenzhen. So Shannon also speaks Chinese. So anyways, took a 5-hour ride there, slept the whole way, which was great. Got there to the hotel. The hotel was it was very, very nice. It was a 5-star Hilton. It was a great hotel. So I got to the hotel. I landed in Beijing like before 7 o'clock. There was some miscommunication about who was picking me up where and whatnot. But after we sorted that out, 5-hour ride, I got to the city maybe like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and checked in. Road FC checked me in. Everything was good. Had a nice hot bath in the like huge bathtub that I had with the TV that came off the wall and I could control from the bathtub. Went and got some food, which I was very skeptical, as I usually am when I go to China, about eating. Went to a mall, had some sushi. It was good. Went back, took a nap, had a steam about 4 or 5 o'clock. Spoke to Jake that morning. He said he was dropping off his visa or whatnot at the embassy in Hong Kong. Didn't get it. Then he messaged me and said that he hadn't got it, or he said it amongst our group, and went downstairs about 6 o'clock, like ready to eat. And I saw the Road FC, went over and spoke to him. And like, obviously I felt like really bad for Jake because he didn't fight. And I felt bad for the Road FC as well. Cause that was, going to be a good fight on the card. Realized that there was nothing that was going to happen, but I could tell like the tensions were high. So I didn't want to like say, hey, by the way, can you get me out of here? So I just kind of hinted at it, and then I went and ate. So I walked around for like probably an hour. I was looking for a Pizza Hut, I believe is what it was. However, I did not find it on my Google Maps. So I went and took a couple of Instagram like stories outside of this like huge complex that just looked like communist city. And then I went back to the hotel, had the buffet at the hotel, went down to the bar, had some good beers, went back up to my room, had a couple more beers, and messaged them and said that I needed to get back to work. And they got me a flight out the next morning. I was downstairs in the lobby by 8 o'clock, left, took a taxi to the airport, took a taxi to the train station, took about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour train ride, which I read that whole book on, by the way, to the airport. And then had 2 beers and a burger in the Beijing airport and flew back to Phuket.
Dang, that was less than 24 hours.
So, yeah, literally. Yeah, so less than 24 hours in China, but literally, now that I think about it, it was literally 24 hours airport to airport. Yeah. Like airport to China and then back to Phuket was less than 24 hours.
And there was nothing accomplished, basically.
Not a goddamn thing. So, but it was like, I'm a pretty laid back person, like, of course, Road did everything that they could do to get the fight to happen, and it just wasn't in the cards. And, I felt bad for Jake, but, of course, like, I don't really like ever going to China, but, or to like mainland China, but, it is what it is. Like, it was an experience for me, and I checked off another city in China, but I did stay in a nice hotel and I had some decent food. So like, the traveling sucked because it was so fast. But I'm just glad that I didn't have to stay there by myself for, 3 or 4 days. And I didn't have someone fighting. I would have been probably thoroughly upset if that was the case. I would have probably definitely verbally caused some problems. No, but the promotion treated me very well, and they paid for me to come back early. So I was very pleased at that and thankful for them for doing that I didn't have to stay there. So, yeah, I mean, it was, now I can look back on it and laugh now. Like, I remember, like, I was there, I was happy. I was like, it's a nice hotel. Like, it's going to be a good trip. And then once I found out he wasn't fighting, I was a little nervous, like, am I going to have to stay here? Are they going to fly me back? And they flew me back, and I was thankful. And now I look back, it was funny, like, jokes on me. I went to China for literally less than a day. So.
Are you good at flying? Do you like flying?
No, I mean, I don't like, I wish I could teleport from airport to airport and just get in a car and be there, but I can't really do that, can I? So, yeah, I'm not bad at flying. Like, I occupy myself. Like, I don't really like. I've been back to America one time in almost 4 years living in Thailand, and it was like it was. I mean, that was an experience in itself, but that's a long, long flight. Like taking a flight to like Dubai or something, or even to Beijing, it's just 6 hours, and then that's it. You know, you're there, you take the taxi, maybe 45 minutes to whatever hotel you're at. But like taking a flight 6 hours and then taking a 5 hour drive, that's a long time, you know? Like that takes it out of you. Or just flying to Dubai or whatnot is like 6 hours. It's not that bad. You start going to like even to Europe, you know, I've been to Germany and I've been to Sweden and stuff like that. Um, it's a long flight to Russia or wherever you go, and then you know the next flight is pretty long, but that in itself is not that bad. Um, but going to America, that's a long flight. So I guess I would say that I'm okay at flying. You know, I don't mind it too much. I watch movies and read books and eat the food and have some beers, and I'm okay. But I don't really enjoy it. Like, but it doesn't. I don't enjoy it, but it's not like, you know, it's not too bad.
I always think I'm gonna crash when I fly.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
try
in
not to
my
think about
mind
it. I
all the
will say
time.
that when I flew there, like flying into Korea when I flew for Road FC was like great because it was on Korean Airlines, and that's the first time I ever took Korean Airlines was from America to Thailand, and it was, you know, Korean Airlines is good. And when I like to think to myself I'm a pretty experienced traveler because I do travel quite a bit for, you know, fights and whatnot. Um, but I didn't fly Korean Airlines. I flew like I don't even remember what airline it was. It was some Chinese airline, and it was not like it was okay, but I've seen worse, but it wasn't great. Like the TVs, because I slept on the way there, and on the way back, I had like 4 seats to myself, so I was lounging. I was like, "Oh, this is so great," and then I was like, "Why is the TV not turning on?" And then I realized that the TVs don't work, so they had like these makeshift, like some like off-brand iPad. But I watched like one movie on the way back, and it wasn't too bad. Like it was better than not having something to watch. So it was all right. Because my brother just came back from Australia on Air Asia, and he didn't have a damn TV, so he read a book the whole time.
Oh, the new sponsor of the UFC.
I hope, I hope that they have Air Asia planes from Asia to America and back that have TVs on it. Because you don't get a free blanket, you don't get a free water, you don't get a free meal, you don't get shit on Air Asia. So like flying Air Asia to like Malaysia or to Vietnam or somewhere like that, you know, Southeast Asia, I think Air Asia is great because like who's got time to watch a movie for an hour and a half flight, which is what most countries are around here. Um, it's just like you don't really care. You get up in the air in 45 minutes they're turning the fasten seatbelt signs back on and you're getting ready to go down. But all the way to America, man, that's got to be a terrible flight if it doesn't have TVs.
Yeah, I've never been on a plane that didn't have TVs or didn't have a blanket or didn't have a pillow.
Or didn't give you a free meal.
Yeah,
Like
that's
what?
also true too.
You get a damn free meal going to Malaysia. Like
What do
not
they
on
give
Air
you then?
Asia, but any other like Malaysian Airlines, you get a nice like let's not forget Malaysian Airlines went down not too long ago, but like you you definitely, you know, you get taken care of, you get free meals and whatnot. But but man, Air Asia's they must be killing it and just raking it in.
You know why? No
No, I don't.
TVs,
Yeah,
no
no TV,
blankets,
no
no
blankets,
pillows,
no
no.
water, no like who like you think in this day and age like water is something that everyone gets like on a flight. Like imagine choking and just being like, "Oh, can I have some water? I'm gonna need that 200 baht from you." Like that's ridiculous.
That is crazy shit, man. Like flying, flying has always been nerve wracking to me, man. Like I can fly, I don't
It's
mind it.
just a big process.
It's a big process. And then when I get on the plane, I'm visualizing like how the plane is going to go down in my mind. Every flight.
That's really, really, I
Psycho
mean, that's,
shit.
yeah, I don't think like that, bro. Like I have, like I do occasionally think like, all right, if I know the plane's going down, I'm not going to have service. I can't call loved ones. Like what elevation or what like level am I going to pull the hatch and just jump out jump out of it and try to make it?
Yo, I'm visualizing like the plane going down and it's like half split open and the wind's blowing and like people are flying around and shit and what am I gonna do? Am I gonna like grab onto the chair? And I'm thinking like, okay, if the plane goes down, should I go into the bathroom and just lock myself in there since that's like a box? Like I'm
John,
thinking
that's
about
like a
all this
really
crazy shit.
that's a really pessimistic view, like about flying, bro.
I know, but that's how I feel every time I fly. Like, I can't control it. I'm not like freaking out or nothing, but it's in my mind.
Bro, that's so so negative.
I know. And then I'm thinking like, damn, now I have a daughter and shit. Like I can't be dying and shit on a fucking plane, like shit
Yeah.
like that. So I don't know why I think those things. Even like when I drive by myself, I'm always thinking like I should be super careful because I could veer off and fucking crash and flip fucking 10 times and shit like that. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I do.
Yeah, maybe that's just like some negative thing that you have about you, that you always see the worst in like your travel experiences.
Probably, man. I don't know, cause I don't think about that of people, but I always think of that of like situations of like vehicles and airplanes. I don't know where it comes from because I've been in a lot of car accidents when I was young, but nothing like too traumatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me either. Like I think I was in one bad car accident when I was a kid, but it wasn't like a traumatic experience where I thought like, you know, now that it's like it's ruined me every time I travel, I think something's gonna happen. But yeah.
Yeah, I've had like friends like die, like drunk driving and stupid shit. Like when you're a kid, there's people that do stupid shit, especially when you live or grow up in the States. I
Yeah,
don't know
for
anywhere
sure.
else, but
Oh,
over
yeah.
there, that's like part of life, like people drinking and driving as a teenager. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe that's it. Who knows? Fuck. But yeah, man, like flying is something that I wish that we would just like be able to like go in tubes and shit or something, like in the ocean. Like
Yeah, or just like go to the airport and like check in and just like go from your seat, get in a tube, and then it just rockets you to the next country that you need to go to, and it's like an hour experience. I saw something ridiculous recently, and I don't even want to
the
speak about it.
Elon Musk shit.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, like you go underground and then it just shoots you through the underground, like the highway.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
That
they're thinking about making that shit.
I saw another one where now you can catch an Uber in LA and you just get in this thing and it just flies you there.
What?
Yes, like look it up. I just read an article about it recently. There's like all kinds of crazy shit going on.
Do they have Uber in Thailand?
Uh, yes, but I think what I use is Grab Taxi.
Grab taxi is the
Yeah,
same as Uber?
yeah, yeah. There was a video on some Facebook site the other day. It was like a Grab taxi driver and a Pattaya like regular taxi. They were scrapping, and like Thai people when they fight, if they don't know how to fight and they just are like angry and they start fighting, like in the West, like they just start throwing haymakers and then they're shooting like takedowns. It's just like terrible. But like Thai people, it's still terrible, but they don't know what they're doing. Like, but they see too much Muay Thai, they're throwing elbows and knees. But these two taxi drivers were going at it, and the guy was kneeing and elbowing. It was hilarious, bro.
Shit. Well, that it looks better when you're watching it, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, hey, did you ever watch those World Star Hip Hop
Yes.
compilations, the fight compilations? When you watch them
Yeah,
things,
everybody watches World Star.
I know, but when you watch them things, man, like you realize like kids be traded and shit.
Yeah.
Because back
For
in the
sure.
day, I don't think a lot of those kids were like a lot of kids were fighting like that, like they do now.
No. Like I think kids nowadays are definitely like training or like have some type of like confidence boost or something where they feel like they've been watching too many movies or something like that. You know, they know what they're doing.
Bro, like I think the like UFC and MMA and all that shit kind of like put
It is. I think
planted
you're
this.
right, man. For sure. Because before, like when I was a kid, it was like WWF and WWE.
Yeah.
It was like fake wrestling. And like I grew up at 5, I started wrestling. Um, but I remember like getting bullied and I remember getting like some kid picking on me one time. And my dad always like told my brother and I, like, look, if you start the fight, like I'm gonna kick your ass. Like you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get your ass whipped. But if somebody's picking on you, you do what you have to do. You stand up, and we'll deal with whatever happens at school later. So like I never like I still to this day like I don't like confrontation. Like if somebody wanted to fight me, I'd just be like, look, I don't want to fight you. Like I got nothing to prove. Like unless I'm getting paid to fight, I don't want to fight. And but I remember like one time like this kid like messing with me and like I double legged him and I think maybe I punched him one time and then that was it. And and I felt like really good about myself. But like it wasn't like, I wasn't throwing hands. I had no idea how to do that. I remember one time I fought a kid in my neighborhood twice. The first time I don't remember if I think the first time I beat him up or I got the better of him, and the second time he got the better of me. But like I had no idea what I was doing, and he was like quite confident in like throwing his hands, and I didn't know. Like I never done boxing. I'd done like karate and I wrestled, but like didn't get like I didn't even shoot on the guy. I don't know why I didn't, but nowadays like you see kids like you see all these videos going viral now because of phones and stuff. Like kids are like choking people out and like it's ridiculous.
For real, like going to the mount and just fucking
Yeah, going to the mount, like
yeah.
crazy shit.
And it's like some of them are chicks too, like young girls.
Yes, I've seen those. Like nothing that I see now on the internet like surprises me because there's just so much crazy shit out there.
It's terrible for society, but it's just fun to watch though.
It is fun to watch. It is fun to watch, but it's just like, I don't even know. It's like, and just now, like, it's so different, like now I feel like, especially like in the last like 5 years, things are so different than they were, 15 years ago or 20 years ago.
For real, man. Like
Because of technology. I mean, even in America, you see like the race problems now and the cops and this and that. It's all because of technology. So there's like almost a good thing about it, like there's a lot, I think with like technology, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Like it can be a positive, it can be a negative, depending on how you view it. Cause people always say now like kids are addicted to the phones and this and that. But we live in a different age,
But the thing is, they say kids though, but it's not kids. It's
not
everybody.
kids, everybody. Yeah, it's everybody. It's me, it's my brother, you. I mean, I don't know about you, but like everybody that I know, like somebody took a photo on Instagram yesterday, of like one of my friends went and ate dinner with like 5 people who I'm friends with, all of them. Mm-hmm. They just were like, look at everyone on their phones, and everybody was just like this. But it is like, it's true.
I was listening to some shit, and the dude was like talking about that right there, about how when people go eat dinner, everybody's on their phones.
They are.
When you meet somebody, they're always like looking at their phone when you actually going to meet them to talk to them. And the dude was saying like, I should just fucking carry a magazine around, and whenever people start looking at their phone,
start reading
pull out the magazine and start reading that shit like right in front of their face.
Yeah, bro.
Say something and be like, what? I'm just reading the magazine. Look at, you're doing the same shit.
That would be hilarious. That would be very funny. But I think it is true. Like, I think it gets done. Like, I try not to use my phone as like, depending on who I'm with, but I do try to like put my phone down when I'm eating or something like that. Or I still check it and look at it, and I'll have a scroll on Facebook or Instagram, but I try not to get like too involved and like disconnected from like the conversation of whoever I'm with. But it's crazy. Like people get so involved in it, and so like it's ridiculous.
And like I realized that I spent too much time on Facebook, so I just erased Facebook from my phone. I
Oh,
don't
really?
have it on my phone anymore. I have like I realized that all you need to really have is the messengers. Like, because if something's really important, that people will message you, so you could like download the Facebook Messenger Lite,
Right.
which doesn't take much data off your
So you
phone.
don't have the app Facebook on your phone?
No, I don't. Not no more.
Yeah, but
Because I
isn't that kind
realized.
of paramount for your job?
No, because once I load something up, I don't really have to look at it. I just have to load it up at my house, and then I just leave. And
Yeah, I forgot you have a lot of downtime on your hands.
no, I don't have a lot of downtime, but like I load it up, and then I'm busy. I got things to do. You know what I mean? Like I got a family to take care of and shit, but it's all good. But yeah, I just, like I still have the Instagram, because I realized that Instagram, like once you scroll through a little bit of it, it's not endless. Like Facebook is fucking really endless. Like you could just scroll and scroll and scroll, but Instagram is like you look at it and it's like less than like a minute, and you could kind of see everything because there's not
Right.
much to read.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I fuck with Twitter because on Twitter,
Yeah, so
like
do
my
I, but
job.
I only use Twitter to like for fighting. Well,
Yeah,
for
that's
fighting
me.
and fighting and Thai news is about the only thing I use it for.
I just look it for fighting. Like I'll just like retweet like articles or interviews or whatever the fuck, and then
Yeah, I
sometimes
found out a lot of information on Twitter from fighting.
I like I'll comment on some people's shit like once in a while, but
Stir the pot a little bit.
or drop some news. Yo, did you see that North Korea shot another missile today?
No. At who?
Just into the ocean, like normal. Hey, ain't that some bitch shit though by North Korea? Like Donald Trump was here for like in Japan, Korea, China, Philippines, and through that whole time they didn't shoot any fucking missile. They didn't even say anything. And then once
I've never once thought about it like that, but that is kind of some bitch shit.
once he bounced, then now they want to shoot a fucking missile. That's some whack shit right there.
Bro, I feel like what John, was it you telling me like in those videos? Because I remember seeing that video where the North Korean soldiers, they're all doing that big high march, and that thing is like quite scary. But I think you told me, was it you that said some of the guns were fake and stuff?
No, that was Jake.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind then.
But
no,
I wanted to talk about the effects of those missiles though, and it's related to MMA. Because I don't know if I told you yet about this.
No, I don't think you have.
You know, like how North Korea, they've been shooting missiles for like years now. It's been years, dude. It doesn't really seem like it, but it's been years they've been shooting off missiles. And
yeah,
it's
you're
not,
probably eating seafood that's like messed up.
well, that's all because of Fukushima and shit. But anyways, in Japan. But like they've been shooting missiles off, right? And they've been testing like bombs underground and all that shit. It's all over the news. It's been happening. And it's mostly like it's been happening for a long time. But the father, not this guy that's in charge right now, Kim Jong-un, the guy with the fucking the Vietnamese haircut and shit. Not that dude, but his father shot missiles too. But he did crazier? He did like randomly, like it just, but his son, he's been doing it way more. He shot more missiles than his father has. And his father was in control for like 40 something years. So think about that.
Yeah.
Right? And he shot more missiles. Now, because of these missiles, Korea and the U.S. Department of Defense, they decided, hey, this guy is a threat, so we're going to put the THAAD. THAAD is like terminal high altitude air defense, which are basically defense missiles. And they're going to put them in Korea, right? So China, they're like, hey, we don't want you to put those missiles in Korea, right? Because that's kind of like a threat to us. That's what China thinks, the Chinese government. And China has a connection to North Korea and all that shit too.
Yeah, but what's the connection again?
With North Korea?
Yeah, they're communists.
Yeah, they're communists, and it goes back to his father and his grandfather. So it's like they have like kind of a long-lasting relationship with North Korea, right? And well, anyways, that THAAD, those air defense missiles, they put them in Korea. If you notice, Road FC had an event in early 2000. I think it was in like early 2016, maybe early or late 2016. They had an event, right, in China, and that was the last time they went to China. The reason why is because I don't know if it's the reason why, but allegedly the reason why is because of these air defense missiles that they put in Korea. The Chinese government locked out all the Korean companies in China.
Oh, yeah. I
Like
think I
complete
remember you
lockdown.
telling me something about this a while ago.
Yeah, complete lockdown, right? So it kind of fucked up Road FC's plans because when they released their schedule for 2017, they were supposed to go to China like 5 times or something like that, or maybe more than
They
five
should,
times.
they should just stop. They should stay in Korea. Just
But anyway,
for me.
oh, for sure. But anyways, like that also affected the UFC. Now check this out. UFC
Ah,
Shanghai, right? They
yeah.
didn't have no Korean fighters on that card.
Yeah, I was wondering that, and that makes sense.
And Koreans, let's keep it real. Koreans have the best fighters in Asia right now in the UFC.
Yeah, I think that Koreans are definitely. I think they're the toughest, and they're definitely doing on the big scene
In
the
the big scene,
best.
yeah. If you look at the rankings of the UFC,
Yeah,
in the top 10 or top 15, there's more Koreans than any other Asian country.
yeah, I agree.
There's no denying that, right?
Give me another decade, and we're gonna have ties in there.
Oh, for
But yeah,
sure.
I think I agree with you 100%. I think that Koreans are definitely the toughest out of all of them. I think Japanese guys have been around. Japanese MMA is like, man, it's legendary.
yeah.
But I definitely think Koreans in the last how many years have taken over.
And then like I said earlier, like about the Shanghai, they didn't have no Koreans, right? And it's not because the Koreans didn't want to get on the card. It's because China and Korea has been having this like love hate or like kind of just hate relationship because of these air defense missile systems that they put in South Korea.
That's
And
crazy.
and yeah, it's crazy that these things would affect the UFC or affect MMA fighters. If you look at the last, the road that you went to, that you were
Yeah.
supposed to be at coaching, there was no Korean fighters on that card at all either. If you look at the card, none. And
How many Americans? Hey, how many Americans were on that
none,
card? That could have something to do with it. Because
none,
old Deviant Donald was over there during that time too.
they're kicking it, right?
Shout outs to my man. Yeah, but that makes sense. Like, seriously, it does make sense. Like, I'm lucky that I have a 10-year visa because of the things that are going on now. Because if I didn't have that, maybe I would get denied to get a visa as well to go there. So I think now, like, the things that are happening, like, politically in the world are definitely like you're saying, like that with the Korea and the China thing, man, that's a huge thing. That's really affecting.
But check this out. Economically, it fucked them up. Okay, now before going back to the UFC Shanghai, Road fucked them up economically because they make a lot of money in China doing events over there, right? That's why they were gonna go back for more events, but they only had one this year, which is kind of fucked up, right? The reason why they had their event is because recently the relationship between South Korea and China has gotten better. Even though these missile defense system is there, it's gotten a little bit better. I think it's because of the U.S. and because of Donald Trump coming and talking to I think it's the Prime Minister of China and kind of like mending some, I don't know what you call it, wounds or whatever.
I feel like Trump, Donald,
The Don Dada.
Yeah, he should have Deviant Don Dada should have gone to what's it called? What's the line called? It's like a real scary name.
Tiananmen Square?
No, the line through the country, like that where the soldiers face off.
Oh, the DMZ?
The DMZ. That's like a that's a scary name for some reason to me. But Donald should have crossed in because you can see like on Vice or like whatever, they have that little thing where they can talk. And Donald should have came in, and Kim Jong-un, is that his name?
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, he should have went in, and then you should have had the South Korean guy come in, and then you should have had China come in, and then throw Putin in there as well because you hear about him in there as well. And they should have just all just hashed it out right then and there.
Damn, you trying to throw some fucking like UN, let's make a happy family type shit. That shit.
It don't have to be a happy family, but just like let's have some type of peace. Let's not start throwing nuclear warheads around and whatnot and missiles and bombs and who's swinging longer that day. Let's just relax a bit.
For sure, man. Of course, man. A peace is always good, but this like
go through the DMZ, put a bunch of drugs in the one place, and let them all get around it for about 4 days straight, and just hash it out.
Put the drugs in what place?
I mean, seriously, like it's crazy. But then you watch the news. Like while I was in China, when I was there for the road, I was watching all day on the news. Like I was flipping back because like I don't watch American news in Thailand. Like my news comes like, this is really ridiculous to say, but I look at the news on like Twitter and stuff like that. But like I see a lot of stuff on Facebook, and then I'll be like, okay, is this true or is this not true? And I'll try to research it a bit. But I don't watch actual American news sources here on TV. And there they had it in the hotel. So I was like watching it, and it's literally right when they were saying, oh, President Trump was in South Korea and he met with the prime minister, and Kim Jong-un's guy, like this is what he responded, and then like that guy cut out, and it was just like, it was kind of interesting to see. And then literally he was there, and then the next day, the day that I was going back through Beijing to come here, Donald was going to Beijing. So,
man, fucking Donald.
You know what's funny is one of my really, really close friends that I wrestled with in high school, his sister is married to one of Donald's sons. And I messaged him and I was like, hey, can you tell the Don when he's in Beijing to just hook my boy up with a visa so we can get this thing going? And he's just like, haha, like it was funny. But yeah.
Yeah, this whole like air defense system, it peeped this out, right? It affected Korea so bad that like the entertainers, right? Because Korean like K-pop and dramas and shit is huge in China. But because they locked out all the companies, those guys didn't make nothing. They like locked out everybody. Like celebrities or actors would go to China to sign autographs and make like $5 million.
That's crazy.
Signing autographs, Korean actors in China. Just sign. What the fuck?
You guys have Asia on lock, and especially Southeast Asia, because like all Thai girls want to look like Korean girls with like the white skin. I'm serious. Well, yes, just like Shannon said, and ladyboys as well. Like Koreans have so much influence in Asian culture, I believe, like with like the beauty and the skin, and it's crazy.
They said the consumer products, fucking entertainment and tourism got fucked. Korea, dude, like we had so many fucking Chinese tourists coming in that like these places where like tourists go, it was just jam packed with Chinese people. Once they fucking put that ban down, ghost town, all the places, dude. Like it was crazy. But now they're starting to come back in. And another thing about UFC Shanghai, Superboy, right? Korean Superboy.
Yeah.
Duo Choi, he requested, from a source that I know, he requested to be on UFC Shanghai. UFC denied him. The girl, Jiyeon Kim, she requested to be on Shanghai, denied. The other one, the one that's in the military, he just came back. He's from Team Mad too. The bantamweight, Hyung-ho Kang. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Well, he just came back from the military. He's He's a bantamweight for the UFC. He requested to be on Shanghai, denied. And think about it. If you could fight in Shanghai and you live in Korea, right? You'd fight in Shanghai. You wouldn't fly all the way to fucking North Carolina.
No, of course, that's like a no-brainer. Like, there's no time change really. It's like, how many couple hours of flight or whatever.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes a lot of sense.
It fucked the Korean fighters, man, for real. Like the UFC. UFC didn't fuck them. They just like the political climate.
Yeah.
The area fucked them. Did you see the thing on the news about the North Korean soldier recently?
Yeah. Is that because I saw because now everything is there could be a conspiracy and whatnot. Like,
dude, that shit is real.
Okay.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, of course. I want to hear it.
Okay. Did you see the video?
I watched the video, yeah, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh, did you see this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I saw it." I was like, "I believe it, but I need to do a little bit more research."
That dude is like a G. Like he took the car, ran to the border, and just ran and got shot the fuck up and survived.
Yeah, and he's still living. And he was was he a citizen or an actual Korean military?
He was a soldier.
So you got it like that right there, because all the propaganda that North Korea shoots out and whatnot, because they blast stuff into South Korea, right?
Yeah.
Clearly it's not that great if one of the military guys is trying to leave.
Yo, when they did the surgery on him, right?
So what about his family? Don't forget what you're going to say, but is his family going to be okay, or is Kim Jong going to just deuce everybody out?
I don't know, man. But from what I've seen on the news here about the dude, because that's the big news right now. That dude, what happened to him? What's he going to say? What's happening in the hospital? Well, I guess they did surgery on him because he had bullet wounds, right? When they opened him up, they found worms in his body, this long and this thick. 6 of them, I think. That's what they said. And they never seen this before. The doctor has never seen this before in a person's body. And they're saying that that's because of malnutrition. It's because of lack of medicine. It's because of, lack of hospitals and good doctors, shit like that, right? And this is a soldier, which is the main,
right,
protection of the country, right? And that's how they're treating their soldiers. I think that's why that dude ran. You know what he said when he woke up at the hospital?
What?
He said, "Hey, this doesn't look like Korea." He said that. I don't believe this is Korea. I think I'm in America. That's what he said.
Wow. Because
it was so much different from where he was at.
That's insane.
And then now he's he's in the hospital, kicking it like Al Bundy and shit, watching all the movies and eating all the food and listening to
Dude's eating ice cream right now, hanging out, just loving it.
For real, man.
It's crazy to think in this day and age, and I'm sure, there's probably so many countries like this, but it's crazy to think is as much as North Korea is in the media and whatnot, how it obviously we know it's a communist country and stuff, but man, it's so interesting. It's just a very interesting place. I told you before, I watched a documentary on an American soldier that there was 6 of them or 5, I don't remember exactly how many, that ended up staying after the war, fled from South Korea. And it was just a really interesting documentary because the guy was a former American soldier that's been there for decades, and he speaks Korean. He's married to I don't know if his wife was Korean or if she was almost a form of Russian or whatnot, but it was very weird documentary on the internet. But it was scary. It was just it just looks like it's light years behind the rest of the world.
And people always say how come they don't fucking Gaddafi his ass, right? The reason why is because where was Gaddafi from?
I don't even remember.
Whatever country he was from, right? He ruled. That country, you're allowed to leave that country. You can go to other countries and come back and shit like that, right? And that's the reason why Gaddafi, basically fucked up, and then he got fucked up. But in North Korea, you can't leave. So if you can't leave, then there's no way of you making I guess, like money or something like that to build up like a cache of weapons or anything like that. So there's no revolution that's possible unless it's the military. And
That's so insane. It's crazy too that they let in like the the reporters from the UK and America as
Vice.
well. Yeah. What?
And what do you think about that shit? Like those dudes are fucking crazy, no?
Man, those guys, like, that's insane to me. Like going to North Korea is like, well, that's insane. Like, especially like that 16-year-old guy that is dead now, right?
Yeah, he been dead.
The one that got caught stealing and was
Yeah.
there, and he had like 16 hard years of labor, and then they sent him back or whatever. Like, that's really sad. Imagine going on a field trip and then that happening to you. Like, well, you shouldn't have stole, but like it's still really, really ridiculous, you know?
Why would you go on a field trip to fucking North Korea though?
That's insane.
Like, what is his parents telling him? Like, oh yeah, that sounds like an educational experience.
Like, look, I fought in Lebanon, and my dad, like, my parents were like, hey, like, and I was like, no, it's okay, like, because I have friends or guys that I train that are from Lebanon. But like, imagine like if I called my dad and I was like, he's like, hey son, where are you going next? And I was like, oh, I'm going to corner some guys in North Korea. He'd be like, son. He would just put his foot down and be like, no, you should not go there at all. That is not a good idea. Yeah, that's just like, that's insane.
Yo, when you come to Korea next time, like we're gonna go to the DMZ. We gotta, because I haven't even been there.
No, we're definitely going there.
I haven't even been there, so I'm waiting for you to
take
come.
Photos?
Yeah.
Hey, in the video, didn't the North Korean soldier run across the border? Not only the one that like fled, but like his mate. Well, you can't really call him his mates, but the guy that the guys that he formerly worked with. Didn't they run across the border like for a split second and like shoot him and then like run back across?
Yeah, I think so.
And South Korean soldiers didn't return fire on them?
No, because they were shooting at their own guy.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's so insane.
Yeah, if you do come, like, I'll probably like find a restaurant where like you eat, but when you're eating, you can see North Korea.
Yeah, I would definitely love to. Man, I told you before, like I went to a North Korean restaurant in Cambodia, and it was honestly one of the coolest experiences that I've had in my traveling, because everyone, like, it was North Korean owned. You can't take photos. There's like signs everywhere that say you can't take photos. All the waitresses are North Korean, but they speak obviously Korean. They speak Cambodian. They speak Chinese. They speak English. They can play the guitar. They can play the bass. They can play drum. They can play all these different instruments. It was mind-boggling to see how intelligent these girls were. And I asked the guy that I was with, who was from Singapore, I was like, man, why don't they just like flee out of here? And he was like, and at that time I didn't really know much about that. And he was like, man, if they leave, that, they know they're under contract, their families, like they'll kill their families, or whatever. So it's really sad.
It is sad, man. Fuck. All this fucking North Korea talk makes me fucking uneasy over here and in the number one target if they do start dropping bombs.
But you said that no one's really sweating that much over there.
No one's sweating shit, man, because they know it's all just a political game. It's just like they're just playing games with each other. It's like the big boys club. And they're just like, hey, Jung-un, like, throw a missile out there. Let's see what happens. And then, Donald's like, he's tweeting about it and shit. And then they're probably over there, like, waiting for his tweet to come out.
Oh, Don.
It's just whack, man. Like, it's just a waste of time. I don't really watch it too much at all because at the end of the day, if you get too caught up in it, you get feelings and shit about it.
Yeah.
And when people start talking about like political shit, like deep political shit, like I don't even want to even get involved.
No, of course not.
Because number one, I don't know enough to be arguing with somebody about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
Number two, there's no reason to. We're fucking not politicians.
Right, and there's nothing that we're going to do or say that's going to change anything. So
exactly, and then people are just going to get angry about nothing. which is fucking stupid.
Very interesting.
But hey, what is it, man? This weekend is gonna be a fucking huge ass UFC. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who you got?
For which fight?
Aldo versus Holloway.
I'm gonna say Aldo, because I always pick. I pick with this, not with this.
I'll take Holloway.
My mind, yeah. Who do I think is gonna win? I think Holloway's gonna win. Who do I want to win? I think I want Aldo. I know I want Aldo to win, but I like both of them. But yeah.
All right. What about Overeem versus Ngannou?
Ngannou.
No, I got Overeem.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Are you picking with your heart again?
Nah, I'm picking with my mind on that one. Bro, he's Cameroonian French.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
He's a predator.
That guy, mate, that guy is the guy that you sign that contract, you're like, I ain't excited about this one. You just know that if he connects with you right one time, you're sleeping, and there ain't no way around it.
What about, the best fight is not even those, though. It's fucking Alvarez versus Gaethje.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gaethje. I like both of them, but I'm going to go with Gaethje because that guy, he gives absolutely zero fucks about about anything. He just goes out there and, I saw an interview recently said he just wants to make it like a violent, he wants to be the most violent guy or whatever in the UFC, and he is violent. He just goes out there and does not care about getting hit or rocked. He is trying to take your head off.
He has the tools, man, to be the champion. I believe.
Yeah, I think he does too. I think he's got the chin, number one. I don't know how long his career is going to be, but he definitely, man, he goes out there and he throws down.
And he has that strong wrestling base.
Yeah.
Where
it's not like you're going to go out there and just take Gaethje down.
No. Yeah, Gaethje is a beast, man. I think Alvarez is out the door. I think he's.
Yeah, I do too, man. He did his thing, bro. He won the title and lost the title. He's been the champ in every promotion I think that he's been in. Like, man, he's
a legend of the division.
Yeah,
he's a legend of the division.
Definitely. He's solidified himself. He's fought in Japan. He's fought everywhere.
Yeah.
He's done his thing.
Yeah, he's out. He's on his way out the door. He might even go back to Bellator. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
his last step should be Rising.
Oh yeah. Rising.
Just go to
Rising.
Rising.
You see Gomi? He's fighting in Rising. They just
I saw you. Yeah, I saw. And you said old mate's gonna piece him up.
Yachi is fucking good.
Yeah, he is.
He's fucking good. Like, Yachi should be in the UFC. But
yeah, bro, he's good.
But if Risen's paying him,
that's what I was gonna say. Maybe they're paying him a lot of money.
If Risen's paying him and he gets to fight at home, why not? I mean, why not stay and make your money and develop Japan and basically it's the rebirth of Japanese MMA right now.
I think so too, man. I think they got a lot of good guys that are coming out, and I think I definitely think that it's like a resurgence of Japanese MMA.
On Twitter, like one dude, like he posted up the matchup, like Yachi versus Gomi. It's gonna be fireworks, and I had to comment on that a little bit.
I saw.
I told him. I said, Gomi. I said like basically Gomi is the laughing stock of Japanese MMA.
Yeah.
And Yachi's gonna fucking destroy his ass. And the dude was like, well, that's why is that? Or why do you see it that way? And I was just like, because have you been watching Gomi fight for the last few years? He's like 1-7. Yeah,
he's struggling.
Yeah, and he's been finished like 6 times in a row or some shit like that. And the dude was like, in Japan, it doesn't matter. It's the story. And
That's the cool thing, though, about, I think, in my opinion, that is the cool thing about Japanese MMA. The fans are so respectful, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Like, if you put on a good showing, like, you're respectful or, whatever, like, they like you.
Yeah, I respect the way that the Japanese do their style of promotion, and I think different is always better. Different is
Yeah.
always better, right? But like saying that he's gonna become like raise his stock by beating Gomi, I do not believe that at all. Like if you
No.
watch MMA, you know that that's not even close to being true. Gomi is like so far past being competitive. It's just ugly. Like
Yeah.
it's sad to me. That's
It
what I
is.
said
No,
too.
it is,
It's sad
bro.
to
I
me.
saw I believe he fought in Singapore when I was there.
Yeah.
Somebody, and it was like sad to watch. And then he just fought again recently. Like, that's,
And he just seems like, in my opinion, it just seems like he's like comfortable losing.
yeah, almost like it's the only thing he knows is fighting. And now he's just like way past his time, and he just like, give it up, bro.
But at the end of the day, I will never forget Gomi in Pride though. Like he was
He's a
he was
beast.
the man. He was the man in the lower weight divisions. Like back then it was all about fucking heavyweight
Yeah,
and those weight classes. But at that
he was the
same
man.
time, concurrently, Gomi was doing his fucking thing, destroying everybody. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's bounce on that note. People, MMA is gonna get crazy like in December.
It's just getting
December's a
crazier and
big
crazier.
month. Ryzen is coming. Road FC is coming. Your boy Rafael is gonna take on the Mongolian Mike Tyson at Road FC 45. Then you got the women's atomweight championship on Road FC 45. You got fucking Ryzen with their fucking tournament. Both their tournaments happening, and Krokoff is coming back. That's even crazy too. Which I have a whole nother set of opinions about that. And then you got UFC 218, which is this week, which is not, is that December? Maybe December, I don't know. But
Yes, this weekend is December.
then you got Cyborg and fucking Holly Holm. I'm really looking forward to that fight, man. All right, George, it was good talking to you.
감사합니다.
Yeah, of course. 9 and is that yes? In German?
Oh,
German.
no, I think it's no.
Oh, it's no. All right. Okay, sorry.
Hey,
Whatever
when are we getting the North Korean back on?
I don't know. I have to talk to him. I'll see what's
All right.
up. All right.
All right.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace, brother.